Poland, Wes Clark, helping them do a barbecue competition. I was just a special guest. It was awesome, though. It was hot. Can't wait to go back. All right, let's get this baby uploaded. There we go. All right, rock and rolling.
How's she going, man?
Hey, Tyson.
Well, I don't see no tan. What's going on?
Oh, I got a sunburn from all hell on my neck. It was freaking hot, man. It was their average temperature is about 18 degrees, our temperature at this time of year. And we rocked 35, 36, and 33 the 3 days I was there. It was the hottest pig fest. They have it the same weekend every year in
Yeah.
like I think since they started it 27 years ago or something crazy like that. So
Well, we broke temperatures too while you were gone.
yeah. Yeah,
Crazy.
it is crazy. And now I left on Sunday and it went from 90 degrees down to like 60 and now it's in the 40s there. So I hit a perfect time to go. I couldn't have hit better weather, that's for sure.
Well,
It was
the
nice.
least you could do is bring moisture back. I don't
I
see
didn't
any.
bring moisture back. I didn't get any moisture down there either though. I brought the heat back. If I'd have got
Oh,
moisture, I'd have brought that back too, but
you
I
brought desert heat.
did literally. Holy shit. It was hot. That first day, I mean, when you come from winter and then go in the first day, I was sweating like a fat kid in a candy store, man. It was good.
Well,
It
good
was good.
evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. We're back together on a Wednesday morning, and I'm sure all our listeners are dying to hear your thoughts of the weekend games. I touched a bit on it yesterday, um, but what did you think? What did you think?
Well, I mean, I kind of that's why I never said I was confident. There's something about playing against Patrick Mahomes that it just I'll call you back, Tyson. Um,
Yeah, I don't know what the heck. I must have disconnected you there.
that's okay. I'll call back, but there's something about playing Patrick Mahomes that is just he's a winner. Winners win. It's just I mean, I don't like the guy, but I respect him as a football player.
Yep.
Um, it was, I was listening to a podcast on the plane and I downloaded, I don't remember which one it was. And the guy basically said, here's how it goes for the Ravens. And he was so right. He's like, if they play their game, they win. They win the Super Bowl. They're the best team that's left in football. They're the healthiest. Every single guy was at practice. They had the best defense in the league, and it wasn't close when you go statistically what they were able to do. And Lamar Jackson in the second half of every game just was lighting it up. But he said they've lost 3 times this year, and all 3 times they beat themselves. They mistake themselves. They took untimely penalties.
Yep.
They forced throws, and they abandoned the run in the first quarter of those 3 games. And they did that exact same thing in this game. They're the number one rushing team in the NFL this year,
Hmm.
and they rushed the ball 6 times, and they weren't down. It's not like they were down by so much they had to start throwing.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it got to a lead. Um, it was always manageable lead that the other team had. I don't know why the gameplay that John Harbaugh called. I think they got outcoached, and Mahomes knows how to win, even if he only can score 17 points because the defense immediately after they let those 2 touchdowns go, the Mahomes never got in within the 30-yard line again. Um, that defense shut it down like they always do late in the game, and but that, in my opinion, they beat themselves. The moment was obviously too big for them, and they got outcoached and outclassed.
You know, I'm not a Mahomes fan either, but the man is good.
He's a
And
winner. He's a
I
winner.
do
I've said
not
it all
think
year. I hate him, but he's a winner.
when the game is on the line, there's no one else you'd want to have,
Nope.
under center other than Patrick Mahomes. And
No, not right
I'm a,
now.
no, I'm an Eagles fan. Of course, I would love Jalen Hurts to be like Patrick Mahomes, but he's not. He's
Yeah.
just Patrick
It
Mahomes is in his own category in the
Yeah, in
NFL.
the NFL, he's got his own category right now. There's no question about that. And the only thing that kind of gets me is, like there was a lot of flags called that game. Like I didn't get to watch it. I just watched the highlights and everything. I was flying at the time.
Well,
But
good thing for you, I can tell you all about them because
yeah,
I watched it.
I just so like I said that what did I watch on Monday night when I got back? I just I didn't rewatch the game. I just watched some stuff on ESPN, and they were debating. It was can't remember who the two guys were, but they were fighting over the flags. They're like every flag the Ravens got was legit. But how about these 9 non-calls against the Chiefs that they didn't? They were blatant calls. One was on Isaiah Likely on a first down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I mean, he got completely turned around right in
Pass
front of the ref.
interference. Yeah.
And there was like 8 or 9 questionable ones that never got called on them. Not that the Ravens calls weren't all correct, because they were taking brutal penalties.
Well, the Ravens took like undisciplined penalties as well.
Undisciplined. Yeah.
The hit to the head on Mahomes, the
Yep.
15-yarder. They actually had two head contact penalty calls in the same drive.
Yeah.
Roquan Smith got another one.
Yeah. And I mean, those are, it sucks. Like the one that Jadeveon Clowney got, he barely touched him. It's
Yeah,
brutal, but it's the call. It's the rules. You can't even nick the helmet in whatsoever way.
especially a
Um,
quarterback. Especially a
it,
quarterback. Quarterbacks are
especially a
protected.
quarterback. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not allowed. Like you can't argue. It doesn't matter if he let up and barely shoved him. His head went in, hit the bottom of his jaw. You're gonna get flagged on that every time. Especially on Mahomes, because they're gonna call everything. The refs want the Chiefs in there. Believe you me, the NFL's revenues for the Kansas City Chiefs have gone up 391 million since Taylor Swift started showing up. Don't tell
Oh,
me they don't want them there. So the calls are going to go that way if at all possible. But
yeah.
it didn't come down to reffing. It came down to undisciplined play. It came down to just the Ravens weren't as good as the
Well,
Chiefs. They lost that game. They beat themselves just like they did
yeah.
against the Colts and the Steelers and the Browns earlier that year. They were
My
a better team than all those teams, and they lost. And here we go. We go golfing now. We
yeah.
golf. They'll meet the Flames in a couple months here, and they'll be shooting 18 holes together.
Zay Flowers, when he fumbled at the goal line there, that was the
That was
turning
the end of
point.
the game, because that was a 14-17 right there.
Yeah,
That was a game changer, and that's when the Ravens normally turn it on late in the third. They get that, and I mean their defense shut them down the whole rest of the way. They get that, they go down, they got momentum, game over.
yeah, yeah. But the Ravens defense was not as good in the first half. They just
No, they
weren't.
never are, Tyson. They always allow points right away, and then Mike McDonald clamps them down. They scored. Don't forget, it was only the first 2 drives, and after that, the Chiefs did not get within the 30. That's
Yeah,
wild. Not once. They got
yeah.
2 drives. Luckily, they scored on both, and that was it. Mike
Well,
McDonald is a damn wizard. Now, Andy Reid came up with stuff right off the bat that fooled the guys or had them not ready. Then that's it. That Ravens defense is absurd to watch, man. It's crazy.
I gotta
And
give.
normally a team puts up more than 17 points, especially Lamar's offense.
Yeah, I
The
gotta
defense
give.
did everything.
I got to give the Chiefs defense credit too, man. They played well too, and they do what every team does. You're going to try and make Lamar beat you with his arm, not his legs, right?
Right.
And
See,
they
and
did.
the thing with the Chiefs is Lamar beat every team with his arm this year. Every single team attempted to do that and lost. Every single one. However, the Chiefs are different. They were the number 1 defense in takeaways.
Yeah,
Their back end guys are their best, not their front end guys. Their back end guys are the best. They just let the dogs loose, and they know even if they just get a little bit of pressure, their back end guys, they've got them.
Odell Beckham was nowhere to be found that entire game. I don't know what he was doing, but at the
3
end, finally,
catches is all he got, and they all came third and fourth quarter from what I looked at.
fourth quarter, I think. Yeah, he
Yep.
got finally. Yeah, he just was nowhere to be found, and yeah, tough loss, tough loss. But the Detroit game was even tougher.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell, and I mean, I believe through the regular season you can be super aggressive like he was, but I still maintain that fourth down gamble, the first one,
Yep.
changed the entire game. He should have kicked the field goal, in my opinion.
See, that game I got to watch because I was at a layover in Toronto, and I totally agree, but I knew he wasn't going to do it. Don't forget, their record wouldn't have been what it was. They wouldn't be there if it wasn't
Yeah,
for playing like that. So you
yeah,
can't change it. That's who he is. That's how he's going to play. That's how they won this year. They said they won 4 games by gambling in those positions. 4 games worked out that way. They
Yeah.
wouldn't even have been in the playoffs had it not been for playing like that. You can't abandon the way you play. It sucks. Any other team, 99.99999%, you go for that. You tie the game. This is a ticket to the Super Bowl. This is different. But that just proves how much Dan has faith in his system and going against the analytics like that. I gave him kudos. It sucks. It's a horrible way to lose with a lead like that. But at the end of the day, it didn't come down to those plays. It came down to their defense choking.
Well,
You have a
I don't know.
24-7 lead going into the half.
I didn't like that they abandoned the run in the second half. Why? I have no idea, because they ran.
When you run the clock out when you have the lead, that is what you do. They did the opposite. They did the opposite of the Ravens. The Ravens did it right away when it is their strong point. Plus, I don't know if anybody knows this, but the Chiefs is bottom 5 in run defense. The Ravens were averaging 5 yards a carry on their 6 carries, or 5.3, and then never ran again.
Yeah.
So
I think that it seemed like the Ravens panicked. They got down and they panicked, right? Like changed the whole game. I don't know why. I just got that feeling.
We've never abandoned the run once this year, and there we go. We left it, and it's our best thing. Our run is our best thing. Like, it's our best part of our game. Justice Hill, Gus Edwards. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. There's lots of conspiracies out there on why they would do it. But at the end of the day, we don't even have a number 1 receiver. So why would you do that when you don't have an AJ Brown? You don't have a DeAndre Hopkins. You don't have a Amon St. Brown. We didn't have a guy. We just have like a bunch of guys, a couple tight ends. I mean, Mark Andrews was out there just as a coy. That's all he was. He's still banged up. He was a blanket before, so we didn't even have him. Why would you abandon the run? I don't know.
I think coaches get caught up in the intensity of the game, possibly. And
100% that's on coaching. Coach makes the plays.
Yeah, and they just get so involved in the game that they get out of their ordinary self.
Out-coached and outclassed, man. That's why Andy Reid's the best. He's been there. He's lost. He's won. He knows. He's going to stick to his game plan no matter what the scenario looks like, because he knows we'll come back. We got this. And
that's the one reporter I was watching yesterday on the NFL Network, and the one reporter said something that stuck with me. He says, now heading into the Super Bowl, like, the scary part of the Chiefs is that does not change how Mahomes is. Like, that pressure, he's been there, done that. He's going to be that cool cat. And can you say the same thing for Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl? I don't know.
No, I absolutely can't. I mean, I hope Brock has a game of his life. He's got the better team. There's no question. The Niners are a better team than the Chiefs. This is
their defense.
For the Chiefs.
Their defense has been gutted 2 weeks straight. Should have lost to Green Bay. Should have lost to Detroit.
Yep.
You give Mahomes those looks, you're losing. I'm sorry.
I agree. The only thing that Mahomes doesn't have is he doesn't have the talent on offense. It's really just him and Travis Kelce. And I mean, Kelce's been terrible for the last 8 weeks, and then goes 10 for 10 for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, I just don't understand. He dropped everything in the coming weeks. And then that game, he made miraculous fingertip catches that the ball was like knocked in the air. It was one of those things where it's like, when it comes down to it, when it's time to win, those 2 guys, they've just been there so many times. It's just it's like just another day at the office, but it's the Super Bowl. The pressure doesn't get to those guys because they've been there so often. And kudos to that. They've built that. There's strong rumors that there's a chance that the reason Belichick is holding out is if the Chiefs win, Andy Reid may retire, and Belichick would just move right in. And that would be terrifying for every other team. You go from an Andy Reid to a Belichick, oh my God.
The offense will change, though. You're not going to have Andy Reid's offensive mind.
No, you wouldn't, but you would have, Belichick would bring some stuff, and you still got Mahomes there. My God.
Yeah, and I think Travis Kelce, I believe this, that he's going to retire if they win, actually. I
do too. I totally do. Yeah, I believe that he'll retire. That'll open up some money for them to go pick a receiver. And Chris Jones will be gone next year.
He's probably. Yeah, he signed a team-friendly 1-year deal here this past year just to continue. But there's always changes, though, in the NFL. And
Just for
The
some
Cap-
reason, the good teams always seem to figure it out. It's never a problem when they lose guys or lose
no,
personnel. It's like, oh, they're good again, son of a
yeah,
bitch.
Cap's going up 40 million, so they'll
Well,
have a
that's going to
little
help
money to
everybody,
spend.
which is I think they're just going to fuck that up. Pardon my French, but and just going to overpay another position and then be in
Probably.
the same damn problem. Like in my
Yeah.
opinion, because they're stupid like that. All of a sudden,
Receivers
the
will
kicker's
get
going to be
money.
making $40 million a year because kickers seem very important this playoff run, and then now they're broke again. Like such idiots.
Well, the kickers have been important, and
Oh,
just ask Buffalo.
I mean, kickers are important. You don't realize it until you realize it. Holy
No,
hell.
no,
Um,
and the
like,
coaching carousel continues in the NFL too. Like,
oh
wow,
yeah.
coach is moving. Jim Harbaugh, of course, is the Chargers, and
Yep.
Atlanta got their man, and the guys are just moving around. Kellen Moore goes to Philadelphia as the
Yep.
offensive coordinator. Like,
Yep.
and Vic, I'm trying to think of his last name, is the defensive coordinator. Like, there's coaches moving around.
Yeah. Our defensive coordinator has two interviews today.
Yeah, I
One with
believe it.
Seattle as a head coach and
Yeah.
Washington.
And he's getting a job. I guarantee you, he's getting.
Yeah. I mean, unless he wants to stay with the Ravens and just make the same money, because they basically said we'll pay you head coach wage to
Yeah,
stay. But I mean, those guys want to prove themselves too.
that's
Right?
right. They want
I
their
mean,
own
it's a
legacy.
pride thing. It's a pride thing. They want their own team too. They see what it's like to be a head coach. I mean, isn't that like it's the ultimate goal? It's like saying, "Oh, I
Yeah,
want to make the practice. You can make the practice roster. We'll pay you 10 million, or you can play and you can make 11 million." Well, these boys,
you're
they got it
playing
in them.
all day. You're playing
They
all
want
day.
to play, baby. They want to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, and actually Detroit's coordinator, he said no to Seattle.
Yep.
He had an offer as well, and no, he's staying in Detroit. So, but it is so tough to get back. Like,
It is. It really is. And that's why this year it hurts more than other ones for me. Because the Ravens weren't the underdogs. And I said it all along. I said I don't like coming in hot. I just don't like it. I'd rather have the pressure be not on us.
yeah,
I'd rather be never favored in a game. Because anytime the Ravens have ever been good, they've always been an underdog. And that underdog mentality is just it's deep in that Ravens organization. They are blue collar. And it just I just had a feeling. I don't know why I had that feeling. I watched them dominate all year. Good teams. I mean, we went against Jaguars. You're going to lose. Well, then we went against the Niners. Well, you're going to lose. Then we went against the Dolphins. Well, maybe you'll win that one. We dominate all of them. And then come playoffs and Houston, I was a little scared. Saw CJ Stroud dismantle the Browns, and then we dominated. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe this is our year,
yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, but it is Mahomes you're playing against. He gets in your head alone. Just playing
Another
against
demon.
him.
He's a different demon.
He is, and you know it. Like, and it's not like Lamar had to play against him, but don't tell me it isn't in the back of your head thinking like, if I don't get it, he's gonna go down and score. That's in your head. I don't
Oh
care.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
every time he gets the ball, there's a chance. And
Oh,
uh, and,
for
and I
sure.
do believe they beat themselves 100%. They were one of the least penalized teams going throughout the year. Now they're the most in the playoffs
Yeah,
in one game.
and
And they didn't move the ball offensively. Their running game, that's the part to me that I just don't understand it. I do believe they got out coached 100% on that. We ran the ball 6 times. We run the ball 38 times a game.
yeah, and
We
we
ran
never
the ball
seen Cook.
6 times.
Cook never got into the game as far as I could see.
No, not that game. He did the game before. His first run, he racked off 19 yards. They ran him one more time and haven't touched him since. Like,
Yeah,
that's what I mean. I don't understand. Gus Edwards has been an absolute tank all year on yards needed. Didn't use him.
yeah,
I
it's
don't understand. Like, it's like, did they want Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl also? Like, I don't know.
hey,
I'm
well,
very
maybe they're
confused.
just worried that their halftime show will cancel and she could just substitute
I
in.
think that's the issue. I mean, let's
Yeah,
be honest. Yeah.
Usher may not show, and so they got to
And
back up.
Taylor's right there just to take the show. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and how long until Taylor Swift does the Super Bowl show?
Yeah.
Not long, I guarantee you.
No, I'm sure not long. Yeah. I mean,
As it'll
crazy.
be huge marketing for them. But hey,
Hopefully hopefully her and Kelsey break up before then and she can sing a song about her breakup like her other 29 songs. It's all she
yeah,
sings is about breakup. So
lots of stuff happening in the sporting world. Like we're not just Super Bowl because that'll be all next week
yep.
talk. I mean, but 5 hockey players are facing sexual assault
I mean,
charges.
that's career over, boys. I'm telling you, that's nothing little.
No,
That's something that's been investigated for 6 years now. You know they got evidence. You know what's coming. I know all of them so far have pled not guilty. I read the report this
well,
morning
they have to
and
if they
have
want
to,
to keep their careers, right?
but they're not going to.
No,
They're
no.
going to lose. And Hockey Canada is a joke for trying to hide it for this long. They knew,
Well, first of
guaranteed.
all, they swept it under the rug by issuing a payment to keep things quiet, right?
That's how I know they know. It's
Yeah,
happened. They paid
yeah,
people off.
they did. They did. And actually, I was at Peyton at a hockey game last night, and one of the questions I issued to some of our coaches there, I said, "You think Hockey Canada even survives this? Like, how can you be our leader of minor hockey in our country
And allow this.
when this has happened?" And I don't
I,
care if you got a whole new board of directors. That does not matter to me. How can you be our hockey leader in this
I
country when
say
this has
I say
happened?
they survive it, no questions asked. Look at our politics, Tyson. It's no different.
That's
There's
true.
politics in sports. I think they survive it, and it's disgusting. I think it's ridiculous. And of course they're going to survive it. Are you kidding me? They're heavily pocketed. They are heavily connected. There will be people that should be fired that aren't even fired, much less getting a whole new board. There will be a couple guys. There will be some scapegoats. You know that. There are going to be people thrown under the carpet. Their lives are going to be ruined because of this, and they might even be people that didn't know.
Yeah, well,
It's
it
going to
could
be the
be. Yeah.
lower totem pole guys. They're all going to get it. It's going to continue on. This cycle is going to continue on.
What bothers
Um,
me the most though is it's another do as I say but not as I do
you
scenario.
betcha.
You
You
know,
betcha.
and
And
that's why you got 5 Alberta teams wanting out of the Alberta Junior Hockey League. They don't want to be
BC
under.
baby.
They don't want to be under Hockey Canada's umbrella anymore.
Nope, they're sick and tired of. Oh, it's like a total. How would you call it? But it's like like
Dictatorship, basically.
dictatorship. It's 100% a dictatorship, and I get it. There has to be rules, right? Everything comes with rules, but it
Yeah,
is like a controlling head figure with that one.
it is. It is,
Rough,
and
man. And that hurts a lot of teams. Like New Jersey loses 2 guys. I mean, I'm not a Dale and Dubé fan. I hate that he's connected to the Flames and he's involved in this, but it is what it is. But I mean, that Carter Hart one, that's like he's one of the best goalies Canada's got.
yeah.
Um, and I mean that hurts Philly so badly. Like, what a huge mistake.
Wow.
What an
And
idiot.
I mean, you don't get that pick back. You don't get anything for the player. It's
And
just
maybe this
over.
didn't happen, and I'm being too hard and calling these guys idiots, but the evidence looks otherwise. Okay,
Well,
I want
now
to
you
wait
can,
till.
things that they haven't talked about that I've been thinking about. Where was the coaching? These players knew, like as a team setting, yes, you shouldn't have to babysit 18, 19 year olds, but you do. They're still kids.
Absolutely.
So where was the coaches or management of the team during this time? Like, yeah, you can't be with them all the time.
But
And
there are guys in the organization that are there and they're paid to know where these guys are all the time.
oh, for sure.
They are. They might not be with them, but they know. They've got insider. They got
Yeah,
someone texting back. They know exactly. These are professional athletes and about to be superstars at a huge event. They
yeah.
know where these guys are.
And wrong is wrong. That like none of that shit should be going on during this time. You're there to play hockey. You go see girls
In
not
the
on
off
my
season,
time.
all
Yeah.
summer when you're showing off your abs at the lake house, you go
Yeah.
ahead. You go
Or
be dirty, be stupid, away from the team.
go back to your regular junior team and do whatever the heck you want there. But you are here for Hockey Canada now. Forget it. Like
Yeah.
this does not happen, right? So
Yeah. It's a blemish on Canadian hockey too, which hurts me because we're part of that.
yeah, we are. We're under that umbrella, and I don't know. It's just a mess. It's an ugly mess, and it's going to get uglier. That I can
It,
guarantee you.
it's just starting. It's just this whole scenario is just starting. It's gross.
And where
Um,
there's smoke, there's fire. I don't
that's what
care.
I'm getting at. I know I called them idiots, and maybe that's not fair. Maybe they all weren't involved, but someone was. This can't just be the Connor Bedard's mom thing where it's all just
No.
smoke.
Yeah.
Um, it's something. It's something, and
There is something, and there was some wrongdoing at some level. I'm not saying what it
That's
was,
right. That's right.
but at some level, every one of those guys probably did something wrong there that they shouldn't have, right?
Otherwise, they wouldn't have been named. They were
Whether they
specifically
were,
named.
weren't involved exactly, but were there and watched it unfold. Whatever happened, there's
Yeah.
something that went wrong there, and
Yep.
it's not a good situation.
It's not. And your Oilers, let's get into it. What are we,
Oh,
one
baby.
game away from tying the record?
Yes, and our arch nemesis. Next Tuesday, we play Vegas to tie the record.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be great. That would
Parker's
be
enjoying it.
Oh, wow. Who isn't? I'm enjoying it too, man. Like, and I've had all kinds of buddies say, well, they really haven't played that many good teams. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you play
They had an easy schedule at this point, but it doesn't matter. It's the NHL. Easy winning games is not easy. It is absolutely straight. You're in a professional sport. I don't care if you had an easy or really hard schedule. To win 16 straight, not have one bad game, you could play the easiest teams 16 games in a row. The Sharks are going to win one. You know what I mean? That's impressive, dude.
Yeah,
I hate the Oilers, and I'm willing to admit it. That is freaking impressive. That team is the best team in the NHL, and there is no question. There is no question. None. Zero. And it hurts me to say that, and I just want to close the show at this point.
Hang on,
that's the way that it is.
Let's hear that again. I was breaking up. Like,
oh, sorry. I want to close the show right now. Is that the part that you wanted to hear? I just want to end it and smash my computer. Is that what you needed to hear quickly?
No. I can't wait for the playoff edition. Is all I'm saying. Like,
I'm excited. Actually, I'm gonna have herpes then, so I'm gonna be in the hospital. I'm gonna be doctoring. I'm sorry, I'll be out. You'll be.
Well, what did you do down in Florida? If you're gonna have
my God, so many alligators, so little time.
Oh, there's some poor alligator that's going to be issuing a sexual assault charge on Josh.
He was happy at the time. I did get to meet someone very interesting while I was down there, though. His name is Matt Van, and it was Ray Lewis's kicker on his high school football team.
Oh, really?
Because I was in Lakeland, where Ray Lewis grew up and went to school and played. Yeah, and which is super cool. For me, being a Ravens fan and a Ray Lewis fan, and he was Ray Lewis's place kicker, and he showed me a video after Pig Fest, which is the event I was at. This was a couple years back, so he's in his late 40s now, or maybe 50. And a couple years ago, they're like, "There's no way." Some guys were bugging him that you were a kicker. He's a bigger guy now. He's older. He's very well established and a good businessman, and owns restaurants, I believe, and he owns a brewery, and up in Cleveland, and. He's like, I can still kick, like no questions asked. So they drove to high school. He kicked barefoot, hit a 45-yarder with no shoes on. This guy that's late 40s and whatnot, and stroked it right down the middle. Unbelievable. They're like, okay, I guess he's not lying. And like Chad went to school in Ray Lewis's school as well, and these are his barbecue competition team. And he's like, that he's the place kicker. And then the other guy in Chad's team, I don't know what position he played. He was on the team too. And they're like, Ray was Ray even in high school. That guy. He just was lighter. He was thin. Yeah. And then he went to University of Miami. He came back 6 months later. They said he came home for a break. And it's like he said someone took him and injected air into every muscle spot in his body. They said he was like thin and ripped, and he came back huge. They said he walked in and everyone was like, dear Lord. He went away a boy and came back a man in 6 months. Yeah.
Does he still keep in touch with Ray Lewis, this gentleman?
I think Matt Van might still have a light connection there, but Ray's so busy, and he's up in Baltimore now, and he does a bunch of things. He helps with the chapel on that team, and he runs, I guess, a kids organization as well. Mm-hmm. And he runs like Peloton bikes. Yep. He's got his own program as well, his own system for, he's a health freak. Like,
for sure.
But it was cool to be there, being that I'm a Ray Lewis guy. It was cool to be, I had no idea he actually grew up there and has played all of his high school there. And like these guys played with him, same age. It was neat to hear stories.
Oh, for sure. And
I learned a lot about barbecue. Holy hell. Yeah. That was unique. That trip was unique because it wasn't just me going down there cooking with buddies and feeding people. That was a pro competition. The best of the best were there. Yeah. And to see what they go through to submit 6 bites of food to a judge, they cook like 200 bites, and the other 194 just get handed out to free to guests as they walk by your booth. But man, you go through a lot to serve a little to try and win some money. It's crazy. It's crazy
Yeah,
world. Americans love barbecue. Holy shit.
oh yeah, for sure. Barbecue's a big thing. Absolutely. And
Different world.
we all got to eat. We all got to eat,
We
man.
all. Oh, and I'm also supposed to bring up that I heard you're not that good at Madden. Good buddy and close friend of the show here.
Why don't you just shut up? Let's leave it be. I know where that rumor came from, and I hope he gets the complete shits from some goodies I sent home with him. So
he texted me last night. He's like, "Please, God, bug him about the Eagles." I said, "Can't do Eagles because my Ravens are out too. They lost out first, but we're both golfing."
Oh,
he's like, "But that Madden thing," I was like, "Oh, all right."
brutal. Like, when you start a Madden game, I'm just going to go through it a little bit here. When you start and your team fumbles on the opening kickoff, it's not going to be your game.
And in Madden, you really can't control that from happening.
No. So the game he is talking about, it was 4 fumbles to 0, 3 pass interference calls to 0. And like, I didn't know you could pay off a ref in Madden, but obviously it can happen.
There's a code. It has to be. I mean, obviously, right?
Yeah. So, that's a very sensitive subject. I may never play again. I'm never playing again. I quit.
That is hilarious. And our riders are making a few moves. I see every day.
They are. I'm worried actually. Sean Bain, next week the window opens, man, for him to negotiate with other teams, and I'm nervous. I want him in Riderville.
I really think O'Day and Reynolds are just letting everything slip by, to be honest with you. I mean, that Stanback coming available in Montreal, why there's not even a rumor that he's coming to the Riders yet is beyond me. He is an absolute tank. I would love Stanback. Are you kidding me? You give him a fresh start. That kid's he's a number one. Like, he'll carry the ball all game. You don't even need a backup for him. And then
who I think's coming though, man?
What's that?
I totally believe Willette out of Toronto is coming as running back.
Yeah, I mean, he's got ties to Mace.
Yeah.
But I mean, you throw your name in the fire with Stanback immediately. Like that's a proven guy.
I think so, but I truly believe Willette is coming. He's coming. And also there's a linebacker out of Toronto. Watch for him to surface in Saskatchewan too.
Okay. And I mean, Ballsy got fired yesterday, for example, from the 620 because
that was weird.
It's not weird. Are you kidding me?
I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Well, let's announce CFL games next year, me and you.
They're doing the exact same thing that the Liberal government does with our media. They didn't want to hear all the harshness last year that Ballsy gave because he's as truthful as it gets.
Yeah, I liked him.
So they fired him. Of course, there are people. I already saw a petition, something like, I think there was 58 signatures on it. They will no longer listen to that station. Like, they're done with it.
He was good. I liked him.
Dude, he was truthful. He brought guys on and he just spoke the truth. It wasn't all just, he's a rider guy, so he's a homer. He would tell it as it is after the game. And
the weird part is they fired him from the Riders, but not from 620.
Yeah. Yes, you can't talk Riders at all because they said specifically that Reynolds called in and said, like, we no longer want him. Not at all. Not ever. He doesn't get to speak of the Riders ever again.
A good play-by-play guy, though, is tough to find. Like, he was way better than the guy before him. I hated the guy before him.
I love Ballsy. He's the only reason I listened. The only reason. And I won't now. It's just
of course
Riders organization, man. I have no faith in anything they're doing anymore. I've seen these
moves. Like, the fans' perspective has a little time. We could do play-by-play 100%.
Problem is, we're going to get fired too because I can't really hold myself if they're going to play like they did last year. Shit's going to get
the show. If we get a couple games in, what the hell? That's
true. I mean, at least we can put it on a resume.
Yeah. Darius Pickett is the linebacker I am talking about.
Oh, yeah. I know him. Absolutely.
Yeah, and watch for him to surface in Riderville. And I don't know what's going to happen. Dolegala, it looks like, could be going to Calgary as their backup.
Calgary and one other team has reached out for him. Yeah. I read yesterday. Calgary, he's already had meetings or whatever, been in talks. And then another team just reached out yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's probably on the move. It's going to be What
10
happened?
million to 1, I'd rather have him than Mason Fine.
I
10
would
million.
too, but I wonder if it's not a money situation where Fine came in cheap
Of
and
course, Fine came in free. I mean, you could
Do-
get a
Do-
paper bag for nothing.
yeah, and Dolegala is probably going to be in that 150 range, I'm going to guess.
I would think so. But I mean,
Which
to me, it's
isn't a
worth
lot of
it
money,
when you've
but
got
it is.
Trevor Harris who could break down on his first throw. He could be an Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah.
I mean, to have Mason Fine as your next guy, that terrifies me. Another year for the Riders, great. Here we go. You know, that's like the feeling I get.
Trevor Harris, though, is going to be a stud this year. You just watch.
I mean, I have faith in him being a great quarterback, but I don't have faith in his health.
And it's rumored that Strevler could be headed back to Winnipeg, Chris Strevler.
Yeah,
so
he's not a good quarterback, but he's tough and can carry the ball. He can't throw worth a shit, but
no.
But he's a winner. I like Strevler.
But you know,
I mean, he's a beast.
so often guys come back from the NFL and they just ain't the same player.
No,
like,
it rarely happens that they come back as good as they were when they left or better.
Yeah.
Rare.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope Saskatchewan's out there turning over some rocks. We need a young guy to be our quarterback.
Yeah, we do.
And you got to go find that kid.
We have to find him. Exactly. We can't pop up and take someone else's because they found someone. We got to find someone. We've never found anyone.
No, I know.
That would have been the closest thing that we've ever found.
Darian Durant, and then many years ago we had Kent Austin. And
I guess we found him too, didn't we?
Tom Burgess. We had two.
That one I don't know. Don't know.
Two guys at the same time come in. Kent Austin, Tom Burgess, and both of them were great quarterbacks. So
okay, him I don't remember, of course, but I do definitely remember Kent Austin.
Yeah. So you got a little hockey this weekend, and then Hawaii bound.
Yeah, I leave on Friday already, so I don't even got hockey.
Oh, you guys leave Friday for nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a quick. I got back Monday morning at 4:40 a.m. I pulled in the driveway, and then I went to work Monday morning. I got a few hours of sleep, went to work, and then work yesterday, today, tomorrow, and then I'll work Friday. And the kids are gonna leave in the morning. I think they got some shopping. We got to pick up a few things in the hat, and then I'll join them, and then we'll take off from the hat. We'll hop in one vehicle, and we'll go all the way to Calgary, and we fly out Saturday morning first thing.
And you're in Hawaii for how long?
Just a week. Yeah. I'm back Super Bowl Sunday, if you can believe it. So,
nice.
So luckily the Ravens didn't make it. I won't have to miss nothing, but I still like to take in the game. So I'm going to rush back. I left my car. I'm going to leave my vehicle in the hat because we'll need groceries when we land. You know how it is out here. So when we land, we'll get to the hat. Megan and the kids are going to stay back with groceries, and I'm going to drive as fast as I can home so I can get a little bit whiskey in me and enjoy the game and hopefully see the Niners upset Mahomes, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But that's the goal. That is the goal. But
and then back to being a hockey dad after
reality. Yeah, reality is back. Parker was in the hospital last week for a little bit there for one night, so he was going to miss some time, but he's a tough little bugger, and he played anyways this weekend. Had a great weekend. I was gone, but he cut his head open there. He took something to the head and took 6 stitches on the top of his head.
Okay.
And
what kind of helmet do you got, that poor guy?
Yeah, it wasn't Wallet helmet. It was while at school, if you can believe it.
Oh, was it a leather head or what?
Yeah, exactly. You know the kids these days. So it was an incident at school, and so Megan took him. He got stitches, got all that, and then he wasn't going to play this weekend. But a local nurse, I think might have been Janelle Grant, that said if he's not in pain and you can bandage it up and put the helmet on without it, opening the wound, or at least make sure it's secure, he can play. And so he went out and he had a hell of a weekend, couple goals, maybe more. I'm not sure to ask. The weekend before, he had 7 goals in 2 games, and Parky's been doing great, and another great weekend, and
nice.
He's having fun. So he's got to miss a couple games. I think Levi's got to miss a tournament while we're gone. And that's kind of the story. And then when we land right back into hockey again,
it's a short season. It's coming to an end, believe it or not. Once you hit February, there's very little time left. So
yeah, it is crazy. It's everything's jam-packed in January and February.
I'm dwindling my time down. Like I got very little time left. Peyton's got
crazy.
Yeah, Peyton's got Sask first this weekend, and then we start provincials next weekend, and man, things can end in a hurry.
They can. You're right. If you don't win, it's over.
Yeah, so by March, I mean, things could be awful quiet. That's for certain. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
I
and
hope.
it's kind of a gap in good sports too there, other than hockey. Hockey
Yeah.
you got left. But other than that, there's no more football. You got a while before the CFL starts
Well, we
and
got free agency. That's one good thing. We
yeah,
got
there's
free
always that. I
and
saw the Orioles sold yesterday for
sold.
1.7
Oh,
billion, and Cal Ripken Jr. is one of the owners, the
yeah,
new owners, which I'm pretty excited about. I think that's great to have a legend.
for sure.
Um,
Hey, I was gonna tell you.
two organizations bought it. Like it's two
Yeah,
big company. He's just part of one of them. It's not like he bought it. He might have, had $100 million stake or something. But
you have to save your
cool.
money, man. And
I don't have any to save.
guess
What are we
what?
doing?
Oh, you got all kinds of money. We know that.
I'll sell some semen.
They don't call it your nickname ain't Trump by accident. Like, let's
Holy
be
shit.
honest.
I think that's for my bad hair.
Well, maybe two things, but it also qualifies for your wallet. But anyways, the Philadelphia Eagles travel to Baltimore next year to play.
Do they really?
Absolutely. They
Regular season?
do. Regular season game.
When is it?
Philadelphia is in Baltimore. The dates have not been announced yet, but Philadelphia's schedule of who they play has been announced, and Philadelphia travels to Baltimore next year.
Well, we got to go.
I think so. That would be great, man. It doesn't happen very often that they play.
Never happens. I've been waiting for a good one, that a buddy and whatnot, and it never happens.
Yeah, no, Philadelphia is in Baltimore, so that should be awesome. That should be awesome. We got to circle that baby. We got to circle that baby.
Now, as soon as the dates come out, we got to find that out and see if it's possible.
I might even take the guy who smack talked me in Madden, because we may need a bodyguard and he's kind of big, so we'll sacrifice him.
He would work. We are going, if we go there, we are going to Maryland. That place is a little on the sketch side of things. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and
I know the entire United States.
Yeah, I know I can run faster than that big bastard. So.
Yeah, that's right. You always leave the tougher and slower guy in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too big of a person to say I'm a chicken, so
I'd rather not take a punch, or a gun or a knife. So yeah, I'm good.
I might just start jogging right now just to make sure I'm faster than him.
We might have to start working out. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of cool. When I seen that, I was like, hey.
I did not see that. That is cool.
Yes, Philly's in Baltimore, so that would be a good game. And
couple of birds.
The NFL season never ends, so we're going to move on. And hey, the United Football League will be firing up.
Oh my God, I can't. I just can't. I can't do it.
No, March will be a good time for hockey.
Yeah. I'm hearing lots of rumors that trades are finally coming out for the Flames. I'm like, I was waiting. I was hoping early January. But now there's lots of rumors for this guy, for that guy. So, all right, guys, let's pull some triggers. Let's go. Let's start this. I want to see more youth with the Flames. Get rid of these guys. And you know what? I read last night that they're having massive issues with Zadorov in Vancouver now. Yeah. Dressing room issues and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, I saw it with the Flames. No wonder. It all makes sense sometimes why they got rid of him and got nothing back. They just couldn't wait for the first team to take him.
I agree. And I think, for me as an Oilers fan, going to be a very boring deadline.
I think so. Why would you want to change anything in that locker room?
Yeah, exactly. So I think you're
maybe a minor tweak here and there. That's it.
Depth. Yeah,
it might be depth.
A depth guy, like a fourth line winger or a center, or
that's it. You wouldn't make a splash. That would be stupid to make a splash when you don't need. You're already splashing the whole league right now. Yeah. You don't need a splash.
No, and so I think it's going to be pretty quiet. And let's be honest, no one has cap room, so.
Yeah, that's right. No one really does. Yeah.
No. But yeah, and there's going to be some. Well, everything's hockey, like hockey playoffs, WHL. The only thing is it's All-Star weekend in the NHL, and that's
which kind of sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, that does.
I like to check every day, go on Sportsnet and see which games. How many goals did that guy get? All that yada yada.
Yeah. So and I did line up. I'll just throw a shout out next Wednesday. I know you're gone. But I did line up an ag show with Blair Baylog from Stamp Seed. So we're
right on.
Everything ag on Wednesday night. Buddy that I kind of hooked up with last year when I got some seed and been chatting to them off and on ever since. And good guy. So he's going to come on the show and we're going to talk farming while you're gone.
Absolutely. if you need the laptop or anything, just let me know. I'll store it
Yeah,
all at
I'll
the
pick it up
office.
Friday for sure.
Sure, I'll bring it to the office.
Yeah, I'll pick it up so I
Cool.
can run that show. And
I'll have everything in the bag there for you. And then
that's
yeah, like I'll have my phone with me and everything. If we want to do a morning show from over there,
yeah,
I'll see if the
100%.
I'll test the Wi-Fi the first day and we'll know.
Yeah.
And then because I'll have full service over there. I have an American plan, so um
Well, you live in the States half the year, so you should have an American plan.
exactly. Yeah, I'm
The
constantly
only
there.
thing you don't have is American healthcare. I know you've
Yeah,
lived in Canada long enough for that.
or their exchange.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Oh my God, are things cheap down there? I filled because we took a road trip. I guess last
You're
story here.
not talking about hookers, I hope.
No, they're cheap too, but I didn't. This trip I
Oh,
refrained. You know,
oh, you
come on, man.
penicillin shortage or what?
Exactly. Oh, that gator gave me herpes. Ended my
Oh,
trip early.
oh, okay,
Um,
okay.
the everything is cheaper there, man. Like, and I mean everything. We went to grocery stores, blew my mind. I'm talking a quarter of the price, not a little bit, like to where exchange brings it back.
Yeah,
Exchange brings it to about half the cost. Fuel, the guy's like, man, this is an expensive one, but we got to fill. We're out. Like the light was on, we filled there at that one spot, and it was higher than the other ones we had seen, the other gas stations. I said, well, I'll fill this time since we're on a road trip.
yeah.
I don't know how to equate to the value of ours, but all I know is
Well,
I
they
know the
have a
size of his
smaller
tank.
leader. They
Yeah.
have a smaller
All
leader.
I know is the size of his tank because he's got the same type of vehicle. And it was less than half the cost from dead empty to what I pay. So like it was so much cheaper. I went in, I'm like, that's it? Did you fill it all the way? He's like, man, I put extra in. Like I after it was off, I put a few more in. He's like, yeah, man, are you serious? That's cheap. It's the most I've paid in years. I was like, holy
So,
shit.
so they
What the
got
hell?
cheap. They got cheaper fuel, but remember, our balls are bigger up here.
That's right. Our balls are bigger. Yeah. And
Yeah.
our field is wider. The balls are bigger. We got 10 extra yards. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You
although
know,
we were drunk and put our field goal post at the front of our end zone, which is pretty weird when you think about it.
it adds a little extra
A
challenge
little.
when
Jesus.
receivers are
The Riders
crossing.
have lost games because they've thrown the ball and hit the freaking posts.
Yeah, well, and the receivers got to pay attention. You don't want
No
to.
shit. And
Yeah.
is that really what we want, though? No, that's a stupid Canadian thing. That's another thing. Our
You know
players
what?
not only have to worry about a guy coming across the middle and smoking you, but you also got this stationary pole standing right there in the middle, and you're running as fast as you. Come
We
on.
should use that as a pick play. Like they can't call a pick on a goalpost.
On a goal pole. Yeah, use the post.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'd always line up as a receiver right beside that post, eh? And then maybe hide behind it for a second and then pop out touchdown. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Or if you're big enough, throw it through the post and you can just jump on the other side and catch it.
That's right. Get a guy to catch it right behind it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like a field goal. Then it should be counted as two. You should get 3 points for putting it through the uprights, 6 points for catching it behind the uprights.
Yeah.
It's a 10-point play after the kick.
Well, Mark Mueller, if you're listening, like I'm available as offensive coordinator assistant.
Assistant, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a motivator if you need someone. I watched enough of Ray Lewis's tapes. I'll just go in there and yell at the guys. I'm good at it.
I haven't coached or played football, but I am available. So.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw what he can do in Madden's.
Oh,
so we're good to go.
Hey, I did score a lot of points, but defensively it was not good. Like, and my special teams,
the turnovers weren't in your favor.
No, they were not. My special teams weren't all that special. But I do have a picture. Now he will deny it, but I have a picture of that peckerhead. I beat him 60-0 one time. So
holy shit.
And I kept that picture, man. I kept that picture.
60-0. That is.
But he did get a 70 burger on me on this particular game. So
70 points. Holy shit.
That tells you how bad things were for me.
They were bad. They were bad. They weren't good.
Yeah. So, anyways, what a peckerhead.
Yeah, I was talking to him last night. It was pretty funny. He was checking in to see if I still had a pulse after the Ravens game. I said, "No, man, I'm good. I was on a little bit of a work vacation thing, and then now another one." I said, "So no, all is well." I said, "It sucks. It always sucks when
you know
team
what?
loses."
You and Justin Trudeau kind of have something in common. Yeah, like you're going to all these vacations and these.
If you ever compare me to Justin Trudeau again, I'm going to drive to your farm and I'm going to punch
well, you kind of,
and child your house in the face.
If we put that hat on Justin Trudeau, you would look very similar. Like
if Justin Trudeau ever
You don't
wore a
have the
filthy
flow.
hands, clean money hat, it'd be the first time in his life. The only thing dirty about him is his money. The
Yeah,
opposite
but
of this.
he looks so similar to you. Like as I look at you this morning, like,
He's got long, flowing, curly hair.
well, that's
He's
the only thing. You
he's a
probably got
skinny
yours rolled up in your
he's
hat.
a
Eh?
skinny douchebag. He doesn't have facial hair. There's nothing. He's tall. I'm
Uh,
not tall. He's
for those of
wealthy.
you at home,
I'm Josh.
if you got an app, bring up Justin Trudeau, put a little chin hair on him, and tell me he doesn't look like Josh.
He does not look like me.
oh, well, okay, trim up his hair a little bit, and he'll look
Okay, well
exactly
now what are
like.
we gonna give him some color on his face too? Make him wear a hat?
Oh no, he's got color. He was in Jamaica over Christmas. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. We paid a lot of money for that.
$80,000 vacation. So he's
And
got
they
color.
announced yesterday it was fair. The
Yeah, I
investigation
know.
was over. It was a fair amount to spend on that vacation.
An $80,000 gift. That's interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So and Josh is going to a similar place in Hawaii. So
I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to Disney Alani in Hawaii on the weekend with the kiddos. I get to actually go on a vacation with these little rugrats. Oh, Lily's dancing right now as I say it.
well,
So,
that's
yeah.
good. That's good. So just so you know at home, your SGI bills are going up because Josh is.
Yeah, someone's got to pay for this. So we sent out 38 new invoices yesterday. I'd appreciate it if you could pay them before Friday. That would be good.
In
And
American funds.
throw a tip on there if you got to, whatever. I mean, life, God is good. Thank you. Idiot.
Passes her on to the old hardworking individuals.
My buddy's in Hawaii right now, the guy that I go to Moose Jaw and I spend time with, and he owns the two insurance brokerages.
Oh, another insurance guy
and,
like in Hawaii.
Well, who else do I know? That's how I know them. I went to school with him for insurance.
This sounds like Hockey Canada all over again.
I mean, just like farmers, you jackass, and ranchers. I know the Blythemans and whatnot, and so but I know a lot of his friends from spending time with him. And from December to January, he goes at the end of January every year. Their family vacation, they go to Hawaii for 2 weeks every year. They've done it for forever. That's the only vacation they go on. They go every year, and so, but because he's been doing it for so long, in December and January, to all of his buddies, on the bottom of every invoice, it's like he puts a Hawaii tax down, and he'll like put a number on there, so they all screenshot it and send it to me. They're like, "Oh, McRitchie's booking Hawaii again. Here's the tax. Here's the tax."
I'm a farmer. When I talk about going south, it's to Consul. When you're an insurance guy, you go to Hawaii.
I love Consul. I played hockey there for many years. It's a great place to visit. Wouldn't want to stay there, but great place to visit.
Yeah. There's just insurance and just inflation.
Yeah. Just insurance. Jesus. Holy shit. You lost your mind. He's lost.
You have yourself a good day, my friend, and we'll catch you back tomorrow.
I'll see you in the morning, Tyson.
Everyone check your mail for Just Insurance.
Oh, God, I'm